Alright, it's Theros release queue day. Welcome to the first of probably quite a lot of Theros release drafts. I haven't been able to post any drafts between... Whoa, what's going on? Oh, it's switching to Windows Basic, obviously. Right, okay, so... which one of these do I want? The rare is this guy, or girl. Oh, go away, stupid thing. So whenever you cast a spell, it's heroic based, and you get to turn your lands into 2/2s. That doesn't seem amazing. It also doesn't seem that bad. There's a Witch's Eye, which I'm not interested in. I think the top contenders for things I'd actually be willing to take are probably all black cards. There's Sip of Hemlock, which is removal. Slow removal, but removal. There's Read the Bones, which seems sick. And there's a Keepsake Gorgon, which also seems really good. And it sort of works almost in the same way as Sip of Hemlock. This is tough. I mean, I don't know. I thought this format would be quite slow, but I've had people saying it's quite aggressive. So I mean, I could force heroic and go this guy, but I think I'm going to take the Gorgon. Sip of Hemlock seems like, yeah, I'm going to take the Gorgon. My reasoning for that over Sip of Hemlock is this kind of does the same thing when you make it monstrous anyway, and because it's got Death Touch, it has to trade, and it's not easily removed, because there's not a lot of removal. It's well out of range of bolts and stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty safe first pick. In this one, there's an order that I'm not interested in. It's probably the worst one. There's a 100-handed one. And a 3/5 for 4 is already well above the curve. It's got vigilance, and it can block a load of stuff when it gets monstrous, and it gets pretty big. I guess that's not a bad pick. That's not a consideration. Griptide is definitely up there with the best of the cards in this pack. There's also a Horizon Chimera, which I'm not a massive fan of. And then there's these big vanilla blockers, not bad, and a card that replaces itself. In the interest of, I think I'm going to rare draft and just take this thing. It seemed well above the curve, and Griptide is good, but I'm just going to take that. Another rare being passed. What are people forcing? I can see why people might pass that. It's kind of situational. But what do I want out of this pack? There's nothing that really... I mean, this thing seems okay in an aggressive black deck. Doesn't seem that good. I thought this was actually a Minotaur card. I've only when I was looking at the spoilers. Apparently it's not. There's one of these guys, and that is a good bestow creature, a first striker, 2/2, so that's good. There's this guy, which seems alright, and then there's a Blood Toll Harvey, but that doesn't seem great. In fact, that seems kind of bad. So what do I want? I could take this, which is probably the most powerful card, and leaves my options open. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I could always just go red-white. I mean, there's a Coordinated Assault here. There's definitely, I don't want to take that Phalanx or whatever, however you pronounce it. There's nothing that makes me. There's a Cavalry Pegasus, which is good, but Coordinated Assault is just really good regardless. A good combat trick and a good heroic enabler. So I guess I'll take Coordinated Assault. And then maybe Battle-Wise Valor for the same reason. Maybe then I will just go into red-white. Because none of these other cards seem great. There's a 1-drop. There's a Minotaur Skullcleaver is pretty good in an aggressive deck. Flamecast Wheel is even not bad for like late removal. Pharaoh Invocation is really good, I think. Like a flash 2/2 enchant is awesome. And I don't really think I'm interested in anything else. So it's either the trick, the Skullcleaver, or the Invocation. I think I'd rather have the trick than anything else. Oopsie daisy. What on earth am I doing? There we go. So, so in this, there's kind of, I think I might move out of black because this card is not good. I don't want to go for this. These are both terrible. This seems okay for like that Nemesis thing where you can send a bunch of stuff to your graveyard and use it to play it. But in this pack, it's kind of between. Viper's Kiss is pretty good, but I think I'm going to stick with red and white. It's either Dragon Mantle or Hopeful Eidolon, and I think I'm going to take the Mantle just because it cycles, and it's better if I do want to go red-white. Although there's no cards in this pack at all for me, because I don't want to take Wild Celebrants. It's not terrible, but it's also not that good. There's a Yoked Ox, which is okay. There's a Scholar, which is a decent blocker, and I guess leaves me open to black. Don't like that. There's a Hexproof Giant, which would be annoying to play against. It's either the double red card or the Scholar. I guess I'll take the Scholar. So here, this is kind of a tough pick. There's a 2-drop. So that's good if I want to go aggro. But there's also a double-headed Cerberus, which wears Enchants a lot better. Like, it's going to wear Spearpoint O-Reed, or whatever you say, Spearpoint O-Reed, way better than anything else. So I think I'm going to take the Cerberus. And I wield the Crusader, which I guess I'm going to take. In this aggressive deck, it seems good. And a Snarecaster, kind of for the same reason, it's just super aggressive. So it looks like I'm doing the red-white thing. I'm going to hide this black card now, I think. I just think I'm going to have to. This is not aggressive, but also means I can leave it back to block. I'm just going to... What do I want to do with this guy? I guess I want to put this guy on him. Or Dragon Mantle seems like it'd be fine. Borderland Minotaur is not bad. A bit expensive for like you want to be playing 2-drops and 1-drops in this deck, I think, but it isn't bad. Ooh, this is really tough. I either take another Crusader or a Cavalry Pegasus. That is pretty tough. I think I want the Pegasus. Just because this isn't the strongest card in the white-red humans, but this guy makes it a lot better. I guess I'll take Boulder Fall, but that is not that good. So this isn't looking too bad for an aggro deck, but there's 0 late game in this at all, and there's a lot of things I need to make it better, but it's not the worst deck so far. 11 playables out of the first pack's not bad. I don't even really know. I'm thinking of what I need to make this good, and I don't. Obviously, I mean, I've looked a lot at the spoilers and various like guides on archetypes and stuff like that, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure what I really want to see. Obviously, a bomb rare would be nice. I know I want one of the double white 2-drops that gives a counter to every creature with heroic, because that would be awesome. Even a couple of them would be sick, but they're uncommon. Ooh. So there's a few things in here that are decent. The rare is Artisan, which is pretty good, but I'm not going to take it. And the uncommons is Sea Lot Monster, which is pretty sick. The Athlete, which I've heard is worse than he looks. There's this, but that's a little bit slow, I think. Probably one of the worst removals. It's Sorcery Speed. It's a 5-drop when you're going to be dropping things. I mean, this doesn't even kill my 4-drops, or it kills one of them. There's a Death Bellow Raider, which is probably the most aggressive card, but then this has a heroic trigger. I still think the Raider's better though. But then there is another one of these, a 2/2 First Striker for free. I still think I'm tempted to take the Raider, but this gives a lot more late game potential. And I might be able to wheel the Raider because no one really wants it. Well, I wouldn't have thought anyone's going to... Yeah, I'm going to take the O-Reed. Oh, right, sick. Well, this is what I was looking for. It's... Ah, really? I want to take the Kraken because it's a rare, but given that he's in everyone's hero pack thing in the sealed, I think there'll be something that becomes really tradable. I think I'll be able to pick one up. And obviously I can't play it. I'm way far off playing it. It's tempting, but I'm definitely going to take Phalanx Leader. He's just a sick 2-drop that works with combat tricks, so I'm definitely taking that. This is kind of close. There's a Flame Speaker Adept, but I've not got anything that lets me scry, so it's just a 2-3 for free. There's Last Breath, but because I'm racing, I don't think that's going to be very good for me. There's also a Divine Verdict, which I guess does kill the fatties. It's not a great card, especially because I want to be aggressive, but I think it's probably better than the Flame Speaker Adept. Yeah, I'm going to take it. Here, there's another Pegasus, but there's this guy, and he works really well with Heroic. He's basically unkillable. I do need more tricks, though, at this point. Or auras or anything, really. I don't have many. What else is in this pack? This is basically unplayable. This I hope wheels. This is pretty good. Basically Wall of Air, with an upside if you're in white. This seems bad. It's kind of Pitchburn Devils, but not quite. That seems bad. This seems good, but nothing else for me. I'm just going to take the Hoplite and hope to pick up some more tricks. Titan Strength is kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, I'm going to take it because there's nothing else I want. This seems sick. Just a massive scry engine that's not even like a 3-4 for 5 is not even that bad. It's about on curve or on the vanilla rating. This guy could be a problem. This is really good. This is the sort of thing I want, but in my colours. But I'm going to take a Titan Strength anyway. Ooh, definitely a God's Willing. They're good. But there's a lot in this pack that's good. There's like Triton Tactics, which is again the sort of thing I want. There's a Voyage's End, which is awesome. There's a Vanquish the Foul, which is expensive, but it actually doesn't kill it. I'm not really worried about it. It doesn't really kill anything of mine. There's an Active Treason that also scries. It's not bad, but a God's Willing seems better. Right, so I think I'm hating here because I don't want another one of these guys. I don't even think I'm going to play the first one. So I either take... What wrecks me most? Not Fleshmad Steed. I guess maybe that, because it's a sorcery speed though. -1/-1, that could wreck me. But it is quite a demanding sort of mana cost. I guess I'll take Shipwreck Singer, hide that shit. This is tough because there's a Dragon Mantle which I want, but then there's this card which is almost designed for me. Whenever it attacks, it gains X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, I'll take that. Seems silly not to. I'd like a Dragon Mantle, but this can close games pretty quick with this guy. At this point, whatever I picked, can't remember what. Oh, I was gonna say I don't know whether I should have picked this over this guy, but this guy seems quite good for me. So I either want the Griffin, obviously, is probably a better card than the Snarecaster, but that's way more aggressive. I guess I'm taking the Snarecaster. I could see myself playing 2. What do I want here? This blocks me ridiculously well, but so does this. And I don't think I'm going to play that. I guess I'll take this guy out. Cavalry Pegasus. I'm already approaching like as many playables as I need, and we haven't even seen pack 3 yet. So I think I'm going to have quite a lot to choose from. I can't see me playing 100-handed one, or probably not even this guy, and maybe not even this guy. These are actually a little even considered fairly slow. Oh, I'll take a Vanquish the Foul for the sideboard, I guess. This guy seems good. I'll definitely hide in that Scholar just because it does nothing in my deck. Need more of these Battle-Wise Valors. Coordinated Assaults. Are they both? That's a common. That's an uncommon. They're what I need. Oh my god. Elspeth. Well, I can't even imagine how many tickets this is currently going for. Like, what would it be if Elspeth wasn't in the pack? There's a Ray of Dissolution, which I could take. There's a Glare of Heresy. There's this guy, which I'd play. There's also this guy, which again I'd play, but I don't even know if I'm going to play Elspeth, but Jesus Christ, it's a good card. I want it for Constructed, and if it's going for an absurd amount of tickets, I could sell it. So yeah, I'm taking that. I'd be fucking mental not to take that. That is just ridiculously sick. Even though my deck has absolutely no ability to go long, if I ever play that, I've basically won. Ooh. Ah, there's a Lightning Strike, but there's also a Wingsteed Rider, which is ridiculously good in the aggressive deck. Jesus Christ, I have no idea what I want here. Guess Lightning Strike. I mean, that can go to the face, and it kind of does as much damage as that in the... sort of. Not really. I'm going to take it anyway. It can get rid of anything that blocks me. Has the cheek to block me. Stone Shock Giant's too big for this deck. Triton Tactics is awesome, but not in my colours. This is going to be what I take. There's a lot of good stuff in here, though. Actually, no, there's not. There's like Griptide, which is awesome, and Nimbus Naiad, which is, or Naiad or whatever, which is great. But I'm definitely taking that. Man, I'm fucking stoked on this. I wonder how many tickets this is currently worth. Jesus Christ, this is so much fucking good stuff I want. I mean, I want this. Because I reckon this is reasonably aggressive. So is this. There's this, like the rare, which is the horse. There's another favoured hoplite, which I think is maybe not as good as Wingsteed Rider. But maybe it is. In fact, it definitely is. It's the same thing, except for you can't kill this. And this flies, it's got evasion. But I don't think that matters. That's a 4-drop. I think that's not aggressive enough. It's a 4-drop, and it only generates 1 token per turn. I kind of want it, but I also would want this more, I think. I'm gonna have a fair amount of Red Devotion, but not nearly enough to make that good, I don't think. Do I want Spark Jolt to trigger Heroic and Scry? I think I probably do. Don't think I want anything else as much as I want Spark Jolt. The point of this is I can actually shock the vast majority of my own creatures. Like this guy, I could just Spark Jolt him, put a counter on him, and scry one, and that seems really good. Actually, I can't shock that many of them. This guy I can. Actually, I can barely shock any. You know, I don't even give a shit about the outcome of this draft, because if it goes really bad, then I got an Elspeth, so I can trade that for 1,000,000 tickets. So this is kind of tough. Is this guy something I want to have? I don't think he is. I think I'd rather, but then again, am I going to actually play this? And I guess the answer is probably no. I guess I'll take it. Let's have a look at trade. That's pretty tough. Got another Crusader or a God's Willing. I think God's Willing might be better because Crusader's not my best one drop. I think Favoured Hoplite is a lot better. Or is it? I've only got 15 creatures and I'm going to take a Crusader. Don't really know what I want here. Probably not the Sandals. Though I can't see me playing anything else. I'll take... In case I really need to make... Well, no, I'll take a Cerberus. This isn't bad for sideboard. Yeah, I'll take one of them for the sideboard. I'll take another one of these guys, I guess. Bunch of stuff I'm not going to play. I'll take out Fade into Antiquity. I would have liked more auras, to be honest. I only got one. Ooh, really? I'll definitely take that Titan Strength. This is a good card to trigger Heroic and to assure I'm drawing live and just to push damage for it's good. I think I'm going to play Elspeth. It definitely means that playing 16 lands, because I'm going to play 16 lands. You know, there's that is a bit more risky because she's never going to be. She'll be a dead card in my hand, but it does give me a little bit of late game potential. But I'm not going to play a 100-handed one, I don't think. I'm probably not even going to play these guys because they're just a 2/2 first striker. Because I'm probably not going to get to the point where I'm going to bestow them because my deck just doesn't have that. Let's have a look at the classifieds. Buying Elspeth for 23 tickets. That is a lot of tickets. 22. Yeah, so I'm going to get a fair bit out of this. Let's close that. Right, so pop that away. So what do I want to do here? Let's put all the cards I want to play in. And then I'll see where I stand. Oh, no, definitely don't want Glaive Heresy. I guess I'll leave that for the sideboard actually. Play 2 of these, Lightning Strike, Athlete. So that's only 15 creatures. How is that right? Ah, because of this guy. So I want as many creatures as I can possibly get, but I also want loads of enablers. I'm only going to play 16 lands, so that gives me 24 playables. What do I cut then? I can't really cut any creatures because I want as many people. Actually, are these good? I guess they're not bad, but they're not a human. I mean, this doesn't take that much stuff over the top. Yeah, it does. What am I talking about? It takes everything apart from the Snarecasters and the Cerberus. Right, well, let's take the Minotaur out because I'm not playing that quick enough. It's so tempting to not play Elspeth. But it is kind of ridiculously good. Maybe I take out Divine Verdict. Yeah, I'm going to take out Divine Verdict. It's my only removal, but it's also not that good. And then I probably don't want 2 of these guys, but they wear these guys so well. This is really tough. Is Spark Jolt my worst card? No, because it triggers Heroic. Is this guy my worst one? as a 2-drop, or is Cavalry Pegasus worse? It's a evasive card though. I think this guy's my worst one. No, I could be wrong. What does this guy wear? Well, I guess only Dragon Mantle, because everything else is just... No, yeah, I'm going to put the Snarecaster back in, I'm going to take Cerberus out and have 2 of these guys in. And I think I'm going to make that my deck. It doesn't look bad. It's definitely aggressive. AA is fine. So yeah, this looks reasonably good as long as I get... It kind of relies on pretty sick draws, but you never know. I could do that. Maybe. It's not my usual... I'm not usually a lucky drawer, but you never know. Anyway, see how it goes in round 1.